Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the WoW Alone series. This is going to be episode 4 of our series. We've already leveled up 2 of our other characters, and today we are going back over to the Alliance, and we're going to be playing through the starting area of the Draenai on our character Ahruun, the Draenai Paladin. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, you can see, as we saw last time, the Draenai were one of the races added in the Burning Crusade expansion, so you're seeing the different login screen there.
One month ago, a terrible explosion tore open the skies above northern Kalimdor. At that moment, the great ship Exodar plummeted from the heavens and crashed upon the world of Azure. Having fled the ravaged world of Outland, the noble Draenai used the dimension-traveling Exodar to reach safe haven. Inspired by tales of the heroic alliance that stood against the might of the Burning Legion, the Draenai have come to enlist aid in retaking their shattered homeland. Dedicated to preserving life and upholding the tenets of the Holy Light, the Draenai hope to gather a new coalition of warriors to battle the Burning Legion and put a halt to its horrific Burning Crusade. Armed only with courage and their unshakable faith in the light, the Draenai look forward to finding the Alliance and ushering them towards the destiny that awaits beyond the skies of Azeroth. Now, the fate of 2 worlds rests in your hands.
So there we go. Just finished the opening cinematic. You saw the Exodar crash landed on the other side of the island here. If we look at our map, we have Azuremyst Isle, mostly unexplored, but tonight we're going to be just going through the Vale starting little area, part of the quest line. You can see we've zoned in some sort of wrecked building or part of the ship perhaps. Let's see what this quest giver has to say.
Open your heart.
Magellan.
Warm wishes to you.
Never mind my injuries, brother. It's a miracle that any of us are alive. Speak with Proenitus at the crash site.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Looks like another large piece of the ship landing over here. This is the crash site.
May the light embrace you.
Proenitus.
Blessings upon
You survived. Ahruun, by my eternal soul, it is good to see you. I do not know why the Exodar crashed. Only those of us that were in this part of the ship remain. There's not much time if we're to save everyone we can. Acquire 8 vials of moth blood from the nearby vale moths. Okay. Looks like we'll be able to get some male bracers. It's probably the reward that we'll take from that. Looks like he also has another quest, urgent delivery. Deliver the bundle of vials to Zaldun at the crash site. Let's go ahead and head on inside the ruined building here. Looks like this is Zaldun, the priest trainer.
each day is a blessing.
Bundle of vials. Good work. This will do nicely to replenish our depleted healing crystals.
Be well.
It does have a follow-up.
Arcanon Poros.
Rescue the survivors. Use your Gift of the Naru ability on one of the Draenei survivors spread throughout Vale, then return to Zaldun at the crash site. Looks like that will also get us a small bag.
Be kind
Except
to
that.
those less fortunate.
So you can see we're playing the Paladin class on this character. We have our basic attack. We also have a healing Holy Light spell and our racial ability Gift of the Naru, which heals the target for 50 over 15 seconds. The amount healed is increased by your spell power or attack power. Okay. Cool. I'm going to put that right there. Let's see. Oralon, the Paladin trainer. Paladin training. I'm heartened by your initiative to speak with me. In the past, I was responsible for the training of young paladins as they entered our order. Shall we begin?
Good health, long life.
Perfect. Looks like we do not have any money yet to buy our first spell, so we will come back
Blessings
to him later. In the meantime, let's go outside and see what this other NPC has to say. Botanist Terex, Vindicator Aldar. Speak with Vindicator Aldar.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
I'll go do that. Looks like he's on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and do our first couple of quests here by gathering some moth blood. Let's go ahead. It looks like our only offensive ability for the moment is our auto attack. So we're going to be leveling up our weapon skill as well as our defense skill. You can see in the chat box. Your skill in two-handed maces has increased. So with most of the melee classes in the game, your weapon skills and leveling them up as you use different items is pretty important. There we go, we have our first moth blood. And I'll keep going, get a few more. Looks like we just hit level 2. Got another moth blood vial. 3 out of 8. So I just got 4 out of 8 vials, and it looks like we've stumbled upon a Draenei survivor here. Let's go ahead, heal him up, so we can get back to the site. Looks like we saved him, counted there in the quest tracker. Looks like we did our duty. Let's keep going with the moth blood. There we go, that is 8 out of 8 vials. Let's go ahead and return to the crash site. And it looks like we do have another racial ability active, Heroic Presence, chance to hit increased by 1%. So that's just something that's going to be up all the time. Nice little passive buff.
Good fortune.
Proenitus, healing crystals, here's your moth blood. And we're going to choose the slightly rusted bracers. For
Do
reward.
not lose faith.
Go ahead and equip those. He does have a
The
follow-up.
Legion's end
Botanist
draws near.
Terex. Go talk to her, who we've actually already spoken to. Thank goodness you've come, we have much to do. Kill 8 volatile mutations. The irradiated power cores from the Exodar have been wreaking havoc on the environment here. The most obvious effect has been the appearance of the strange creatures that seem to have sprung up near them.
Blessings
Okay.
upon your family.
First, let's go ahead and turn in the Rescue the Survivors quest, and then we will come back outside.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
Here we go, talking to Zaldun. Empty Draenei supply pouch.
Dionys Akar.
Equip that for 4 more bag spots, always useful. Let's go ahead and go out this way. And we'll speak with Vindicator Aldar.
Good fortune. The
Hello.
Legion will fall.
Vindicator Aldar. Ahruun, is it? I've heard good things about you and the work you've been doing in the short time since you came to. Use the inoculating crystal on 6 Nestlewood Owlkin. Zana needs our help to salvage parts from the Exodar. Terex prepared an inoculum that can be given to the Nestlewood Owlkin that live in the area of a lot of the salvage. Looks like we'll get some potions as a reward from that. It's pretty interesting.
Good health.
Go ahead and accept
long
that.
life.
We'll also accept
Open your heart to the light.
Technician Zana's quest, spare parts. Collect 4 emitter spare parts. Looks like we can get some chain leggings. That will be very useful.
Safe.
Before we head south, let's go ahead and go back up and get these volatile mutations. And we'll stop at our trainer on the way, now that we have a little bit of spare money.
Warm wishes to
Devotion Aura. Gives 55 additional armor to party and raid members within 40 yards. Players can only have 1 aura on them per paladin. Okay? So we'll go ahead and learn that. Looks like It was at level 4. Okay.
Cover the road,
So let's go ahead and turn on Devotion Aura. You see there it activates. And now we have 55 more armor. As a melee class, you know, getting up close and personal with a lot of the enemies we're going to be fighting, armor is crucial in reducing how much damage we're going to take. Here's a volatile mutation. Let's go ahead and take care of these guys. There we go. Ding, level 3. We don't have to loot anything from these guys, so it should be pretty quick work. There we go. 4 out of 8. Mutations slain. Early on, this paladin combat is pretty simplistic, just using our auto attack, basically, with our two-handed mace, but I've heard that it does get more interesting once we start learning some offensive abilities. Here we go, that is our last volatile mutation we needed to slay. I basically just cleared out this crystal area, so let's go ahead and head on back. Botanist Terex, turning in the quest for some nice XP and a couple of copper coins as well. Looks like 2 follow-ups. Gather 10 Lasher samples and return to Botanist Terex. The nearby lake has been contaminated by one of the ship's pyrocrystals. Many of the plants and animals of Amon Vale have been mutated. Will you help me, Paladin? Yes, I will. Let's go ahead and also accept this one. Botanical legwork. Gather 3 corrupted flowers and return them to Apprentice Vishaal. Let's do it. Looks like it's this way to the west. Start heading over there. Here we go. Found a root lasher. Let's go ahead and take care of some of these guys over here in the little meadow. Alright, there's our first lasher sample. It looks like the flowers we need to collect are also right in this area. There's 1 out of 3. Flower number 3. And there's our last lasher sample. I did run into another survivor here. Just going to give them a nice little boost to get back to the crash site. And I'll head back as well. Time to turn in both of these quests here. Apprentice Vishaal. Turning in the flowers. Good. And Botanist Terex. The Lasher samples. Turning that one in as well. To hit level 4. Actually does have one more follow-up. Healing the lake. Disperse the neutralizing agent at the irradiated power crystal. Then return to Botanist Terex at the crash site.
Seek the path of the light.
Stopping in at our trainer since we did hit level 4. Let's go ahead and learn Blessing of Might. Places a blessing on the friendly target, increasing attack power by 20 for 10 minutes. Train. And Judgment of Light. Unleashes the energy of a seal spell to judge an enemy for 20 seconds, granting attacks made against the judged enemy a chance of healing the attacker for 2% of their maximum health. Refer to individual seals for additional judgment effects. We don't have any seals yet, I don't believe, so that part won't be relevant, but we did learn our first... Ooh. Looks like we just unlocked the Seal of Righteousness spell as well. Let's see. Okay.
Remember the lesson.
So we have our buffs over here. I'm just going to say Blessing of Might. I'll cast that on myself for 20 attack power. Healing, let's put over here. Seal of Righteousness. Fills the Paladin with Holy Spirit for 30 minutes, granting each melee attack 4 additional holy damage. Unleashing this sealed energy will cause 14 holy damage. Okay. So it looks like we need to cast our seal, and then we'll be able to use the judgment afterwards. I've not mained a paladin before, so this is pretty unfamiliar to me, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so heading south now towards the lake. We're going to use the neutralizing agent to hopefully heal the surrounding area. Man, I will never forget the first time that WoW Master added Burning Crusade onto the Halion server all those years ago. It was a pretty magical night, honestly. I logged in, loaded up a Draenai for the first time, just doing these quests, walking around, exploring the island. Just very, very cool. Let's see, where's the crystal? Was it this big one here? Looks like it. Okay, let's use the neutralizing agent. There we go. It has been dispersed. So we're good to go there. Looks like over here is the Owlkin area. Perfect, and these mobs do look aggressive. Let's see what happens when we inoculate the Owlkin. Oh, looks like we have one here. Inoculate. Looks like we can't do that. Oh, we need to inoculate the non-infected ones, I see. Let's see. There we go, using our judgment spell. So it's doing additional holy damage. Okay, I think I get it now. At first I thought that every time you use the judgment would remove the seal effect, but it looks like as long as you have the seal up, you can use the judgment. Okay, makes sense. Okay, let's try this out. We have our Nestlewood Owlkin here, also getting burned by the fire. If we use our crystal, it becomes an inoculated Nestlewood Owlkin. So we are preventing the corruption from reaching at least some of these guys, which is useful. There we go, 2 inoculated Owlkins. We're also on the lookout for some spare emitter parts. Looks like we did loot a cracked buckler shield item, but since we're using a two-handed weapon, we are not going to be able to equip the shield. 6 out of 6 Owlkin inoculated there, and we also have 1 emitter part. Ooh, watch out for that guy. Here we have our 2nd and 3rd emitter parts. Just looking for 1 more. Here we go, up on this little hill. We have our 4th and final emitter part. You can see made it quite a ways up this little slope here. But now it's time to return to base camp. Here we are back at the crash site. Gonna turn in a couple quests. Inoculation. We're going to take, I think probably the Lion's Strength potions, and we get some healing potions as well.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Follow-up quest: The Missing Scout. Find and speak with Tolan at Shadow Ridge in Amon Vale. We now have several separate confirmations of unusual activity up on the Shadow Ridge. Okay, let's just go look for that momentarily. But first, spare parts, emitter spare parts. Let's go ahead and get our chain leggings. That'll increase our armor by quite a bit. Equip those. Those look a lot tougher. Let's also go ahead and sell some of our excess loot. Okay. And back to Botanist Terex one last time. Here we are, healing the lake. From what you described, the neutralizing agent worked. I just wish that I knew how long it will last. We really need to remove that power crystal from the lake entirely. Thank you, Ahruun. Perfect. Looks like next we're heading south to Shadow Ridge to see what's going on. Looks like we found Tolan the Scout. Don't worry about me, the missing scout. Help, Blood Elves. They ambushed me. Don't have long. We must eliminate the Blood Elf threat, find out what they're up to. They're on the ridge behind me. Kill 10 Blood Elf scouts and return to Tolan. Looks like we'll be able to get the weathered mail tunic. Lots more armor. Except, well, how about that? We have Blood Elves here in Draenai territory. Let's go ahead and take care of them. Just taking out these Blood Elf scouts here. Looks like we just hit level 5 and I need 3 more scouts. Okay, there's our last scout. Let's go ahead and run over to Tolan here and turn it in. The Blood Elves. These Blood Elves mean to kill us. How are we to divert them from this course? Complete quest. Blood Elf Spy. I have a plan, we must kill their leader. Slay Surveyor Candress, and then inform Vindicator Aldar at the crash site in Amon Vale. It looks like this is actually our weapon quest. We'll be able to get a cooler weapon, hopefully. Except that. Let's head back up the slope. Also just equipped the mail tunic. It's very protective. The scouts are actually neutral, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem. On the top here, oh, looks like Candress is actually not a neutral mob. So deal with her. It does cast fireballs, which is an interesting ability for a mob. There we go. Loot. Looks like she did have Blood Elf plans. Quest item. These plans seem important. You should take them to Vindicator Aldar. Perfect. And we have 2 plans, or rather 2 quests to go back to the crash site, so we should head back now. You can also see, if we open up our character menu here, we have already over 200 armor, which is decreasing the physical damage we take by almost a 1/4, which is pretty impressive. As we, get more powerful gear and keep leveling up, I believe we should approach about 50% absorbed physical damage, which is a definite perk to being a melee class. Here we are back at the crash site. Blood Elf Spy. I thank you for dealing with the Blood Elf Surveyor. Surely she was their leader. Rest assured we will deal with whatever remnant of them is still nearby. Take one of these weapons. Alright, Exodar Mall, complete.
Blessings upon your family.
Let's go ahead and equip that. Oh. Looks like it might just be a one-handed mace. That's interesting. I wonder if I can still buy back that shield that I sold earlier.
May you find what you seek.
Looks like I can. Let's go buy that back really quick. And we'll equip that. So at least we have something to use when we're using our one-handed weapon. And now we turn in our other quest. Blood Elf plans. What have you got there? Here, let me read those plans. The Blood Elves have followed us here. They are evil to the core and should be wiped from existence. I apologize, that was uncalled for. We are indebted to you for uncovering this information, Ahruun. Turned in.
Vigilant.
Interesting. Looks like it does have one follow-up, the emitter. Ahruun, while you were out investigating the Shadow Ridge, Zana has been going on about the holographic emitter. You might want to speak with her.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Kronakai Christor.
This emitter is driving me nuts. I'm missing all sorts of parts that I need to fix it. I think we did help you with that, so you should be good. I got it. I think I managed to fix the emitter. Here, I'll just activate this last crystal, and it should do it. Take a look at the emitter.
Seek the path.
Okay. Looking at the emitter. Nothing seems to be happening, but there is a follow-up quest. So perhaps there was some sort of bug. Something didn't load properly. That's to be expected on the server after so many years. You know, it's got a couple flaws in it, like any server does, but luckily it looks like we'll still be able to continue the quest line here.
The Naru have not forgotten.
Travel to Azure Watch. By all that is good, Ahruun, you must go at once to this Azure Watch and speak with Divun. Looks like there was some sort of cutscene involving the hologram that we missed there. There's a path that leads west off of this tiny isle. Follow it and cross the Crystal Brook River to arrive on the larger part of the isle. Continue to follow the path and you should find Azure Watch. See if you can convince them to send us some aid and supplies. The rest of us will follow when we can. Thank you, we wouldn't have made it without you. Speak with Technician Divun at Azure Watch on Azuremyst Isle. Wow, okay. Let's go ahead and accept that. Looks like we are leaving the crash site at last. Let's go and see what Azure Watch is all about. So here we are on the other side of the almond fields. I did stop and slay a few more of the root lashers just to level up my one-handed mace skill, as well as to get a little bit of extra experience, but I think we are ready to be on our way now. Coming up and over the pass here, looks like we found Ayun. Word from Azure Watch. Paladin, a couple mutated beasts jumped me and my leg is injured. Speak with caregiver Chelan at Azure Watch on Azuremyst Isle for the food or water quest. Let's go ahead and accept that.
May your days be long and your hardships
Be on our way. Go ahead and cross the Almond Ford right here. Keep moving toward Azure Watch. Looks like there's a quest here from Dictina. Red snapper, very tasty. Use the Draenai fishing net to catch 10 red snappers. Return both the fish and the net to Dictina on Azuremyst Isle when the task is complete. I am not going to accept this right now. I'm not really big on fishing quests. At least I haven't tried them yet, so maybe we'll have to come back to this in the future. Let's keep going down this path here. Looks like we've discovered Azure Watch, another Draenai survivor encampment here. Lots of quests available. Looks like we do have a couple to turn in here. Technician Divun. Good to see you again. I'm glad that we were both able to get our emitters fixed, or we might never have found one another. And don't worry, we'll see to it that Amanvale gets help and supplies.
safe journey.
Hitting level 6 with the completion of that quest. We'll have to train here shortly. Heading inside the little innkeeper's shelter here. Caregiver Chellin. Word from Azure Watch. Let's go ahead and get some spring water, since we do have mana that we'll need to be using.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Bind at the Hearthstone. Got it. Looks like Tulas, the Paladin trainer, is actually right inside here.
Fortune.
Let's see what we can learn. Holy Light, rank 2 for healing. Divine Protection reduces all damage taken by 50% for 12 seconds. Once protected, the target cannot be protected by Divine Shield, Divine Protection, or Hand of Protection again for 2 minutes. Cannot be used within 30 seconds of using Avenging Wrath. Okay, so it looks like a damage mitigation spell. We'll take that. And that is all we can learn at this time.
Do not lose faith.
So with that being said, let's just go ahead and rearrange some of these things really quickly. Here we go. With that being said, I think that's all we're going to have time for in this episode. I hope you enjoyed the beginning of Ahruun's journey here on Azuremyst Isle. We are, of course, now kind of on the mainland part of the zone. Let's go ahead and take a couple screenshots and then we will call it good. Alrighty, there we go. That's going to conclude episode 4 of the WoW Alone series. This has been Jediwarlock. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below who you want me to play next on this series. And until next time, peace.